So I have an IntelliChlor IC40 here, model IC40 that I'm going to replace. This is the device that came. When you get it, there's plenty of pictures of it here. This is kind of what it looks like, and this is what's broken here on mine. And then you have to splice into the wires of the chlorinator. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, I think it goes without saying that you need to shut off all your electronics, your pool, and then release your pressure so you can undo your flow. This is an oil filter wrench that comes in really handy for my pool. I'd recommend getting one because it makes it nice to undo these seals when they're tight. So we're just going to unscrew this. Unscrew it here. All right. And then we've got a couple of hooks here that we're going to undo. Snap this off. There's some on the other side as well. Here, snap this off. I'm just using my fingers. You may have to get a screwdriver. Okay, and then here's the sensor here that we're going to replace. So let's see. I can't unscrew it with my hand, so I'm going to get a wrench and undo it. Okay, so I've loosened this up with the wrench, and now it's kind of, I can do it with my hand. Get these wires off of here. So this is a little tricky. You probably need to get these wires out of here, not wrapped around. There we go. Then there's the sensor. And mine was cracked. You probably can't see this, but mine's cracked. There you go. It's cracked right here on the gray part. So let's go to the next step. Okay, so once you cut this off, just splice the wire. Just cut it. And I have the gray wire, and I have the four wires here, which are white, red, black, and green. And we're going to connect them to the white, red, black, and green wires of the device that was given to us, which I'm going to take it out of its packet. And I'll show you, but here's the wires of the aftermarket device. And they gave you some connectors to use. One thing I will say, a lot of people, they give you Teflon tape. Make sure you wrap this at least 10 times, around there. A lot of people don't use enough of it. Go ahead and do it about 10 times. Really make sure you get a tight fit. So I'll go ahead and splice these and let you see what it looks like. Okay, now I have these spliced in. One thing that I'd recommend, so you can see here, they're spliced in right here. These little orange caps. And what you have to do when you splice these in, you have to squeeze the orange caps down. So when you get the wires in, you just squeeze these orange caps down, and that locks the wires in. I'm going to go ahead and probably put some electrical tape around here just to make sure it stays connected and watertight. And you can see I'd also recommend leaving your original wire as long as possible and cutting the aftermarket wire. You can see I cut off quite a bit of it here. The reason being is because it's too much wire if you don't, and I can always just replace this if I mess up or have to, but I can't replace this, right? I'd have to get into the housing. So next step, I'm going to go ahead and take this and I'm going to insert it into the hole, and I'm going to screw it in. And you need to make sure this thing is pointing the right direction because this is your flow switch. And so we'll stick it in here. And then I will start turning. And I'll come back as soon as I'm done wrapping this wire around and getting this turned into place. Okay, I've got this screwed in. And as you can see, it's almost seated all the way down here. And you can see in there, you've got to make sure that switch is centered. You don't want that off it because the water flows through here, pushes that switch in, and that tells the chlorinator to take that salt and turn it into chlorine. You can see how it will twist your wires around. That's why you need to leave enough slack on your main wire and don't cut this too short because these wires will twist as you start to turn this in. So again, I could just put this cap back on right here, screw everything in and test it, but I'm going to try to organize these wires a little cleaner and see what we get. All right, let's see how this works. We want to pay attention to this light right here because it didn't notice any flow. It didn't notice any flow, and so hopefully that, oh, look at there, it worked. So, good. And I haven't covered this yet. This will be covered like this, and it'll be a done deal. So, again, this was red, now it's green. I would say the total time it took me, I would plan for about 30 or 45 minutes, all in all, to get it done. The tools you need are, a pair of wire strippers, some electrical tape, box knife maybe, a pair of pliers, maybe a pair of scissors, who knows. But very easy. You can do it yourself. Please don't pay someone to come out and do this. Again, this is the piece that was of mine that was broken. It was no longer working. $30 piece from Amazon worked just fine.